What a beautiful intro that was. Don't you agree?
Wonderful.
Oh, it was so good. And you heard it this time, right? You heard it?
Oh, I heard it.
Good.
I enjoyed it. Not only
Good.
did I hear it, I felt it.
Because that did happen to be the same song as last time, I want to say, but I think that was just the randomized thing. That's not that's not a technical glitch. It's just sometimes when you randomize things, it's not a zero probability that you will get the same thing you got last time. Not a technical difficulty. I'm not counting that one.
That one doesn't count. There'll be
That doesn't count.
Well, that one is not a mark against us. So far,
We're not going to have to play the intro again 3
perfect
times.
streak.
That's right. Well, it's another Monday night. It's another episode of DrawBomb. DrawBomb is the show where we just draw shit and then we talk about shit. And usually I end up getting too busy talking about stuff to draw stuff by the end of it.
And I get too busy drawing to talk. So
it kind of works out. It's a yin, yeah, it's a yin and a yang situation.
Yin and a. My name's not Yang though.
Yeah, well, we're both Michael in the middle name, so it's like
I'm
the
Yin
M.
and a Yang.
It's like if the M was like upside down.
No, it's a W.
Yeah, I guess. And it looks like they're having sex, and we don't have sex. Unfortunately.
W. I know I'm probably not the first person to make. Not wait for the 100th episode.
That's the goal.
So I know I'm not the first person to say this, but shouldn't the W be called the double V? What do
I
we
agree.
do with?
Yeah, it's clearly
late,
two
but...
V's. I think about this all the time. I actually think about this an unhealthy amount. I do. The double V.
Unless we're doing it like this, which I mean we could, but that's a lazy man's W.
I guess
Last
I mean this is
class.
maybe this is the old way they used to do it. Like I mean this is what it looks like in
possible.
cursive. The Walt Disney logo looks like that. I mean,
for the longest time when I was young, I thought the W in Walt Disney was
a G.
Or wait, yeah, like a G.
It was a D. It was the D.
I'm talking about the D. I thought the D was a G.
Because they do like this shit.
Even though I know it's the word Disney, my brain never connected visual. It was just.
I thought that for the longest time too. I was like, what is this? Why do they put a big G here? And they're like, it's for Disney. And I was like, for Disney? I don't get it. Like
no sense.
I was confused for the longest time.
Leviathan Den in the chat says, gonna be a little late tonight. I'm at CrossFit doing deadlifts and 25-foot rope climbs. I like to think that he posted that from his phone 25 feet up the rope.
Yeah, like he's up on the thing and he's posting like on the rock wall, like, boy, they gotta know about this one. It's like the episode of Seinfeld where Elaine's dating the Mimbo, which is the male bimbo. But by now we've also come up with a much better word for a male bimbo, which is a himbo. And I think that word is so funny.
It's a good one.
It's a good one.
Leviathan Den, good luck with your gains. Try not to fall 25 feet.
Don't let George Costanza drop your rope. He's the worst person to go rock climbing with. Like, just from the get-go, I knew that was a terrible idea in that episode.
You don't give him any responsibility, especially
Absolutely
over your
not.
well-being.
Yeah, no, not over your well-being. You will literally die, like his wife.
So Ian, how have you been?
Oh boy. I can't complain. I worked. About it.
Same.
Cool. Any of the freelance artwork, or when you say work, are you talking about like?
No, I had quite a bit of commission work this week.
That's awesome.
We just finished a job right before the show. That's why I kind of came to you like 5 minutes before we started. I'm normally a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
I was just like finishing some stuff up.
Well, that's cool. I'm glad to hear that you're getting that work. Does that mean you're like kind of slowly getting like doing less time at the restaurant, or do you still find yourself there
definitely.
pretty much?
No, I'm there like 3 or 4 days a week, which isn't too bad for a
That's
day
good.
job. Don't have to go to work like 3 days a week. So that's how I've been doing it, and then doing my stuff in the other time. I'm pretty happy with that. You know, we'll get it down to less as more time goes on, hopefully.
Yeah, I mean, you can start charging more for commissions soon. Hopefully we'll get your name out there. I mean, we gotta figure out how do people... I think you just have to, like, ask. Like, and that's how you get illustration work, because you have to, like, go around to, like, people.
I've been pretty steady for a while now, which is nice. I would say
That's
for
good.
the past 2 years or so, I have pretty consistent.
That's
2 or
good.
3. So that's nice. I mean, that's the reason I've been able to cut down to the days that I'm there. I haven't worked a full week at my day job, and at least it was pre-pandemic, so that's nice.
I guess I'm just thinking, I'm thinking selfishly now, but like when it comes to, like, I've had a lot of commissions for the month of January, and I've been very fortunate. Awesome. A lot of stuff just sort of like fell in line and happened to happen at the same time. But you know, I'm thinking about like once I'm on like the last 2 of those sort of like happenstance lucky projects. Oh, yeah. And I'm kind of like, and I have one guy, he's consistently hiring me per month to do like 1 or 2 projects, so that's at least some money that like I'm doing, and that's cool. But I'm just like thinking, okay, I want to keep the train going. I gotta figure out 100%. What I got.
It sounds like some of your jobs have come from like you're much better at networking than I am, and like making like, especially on like Twitch and things like that. You've been making friends, and I think that's a good way to do it, get your name out there, and also like people see your work. Pretty good at that.
Yeah.
I feel. So that's one thing, but yeah, I don't know what the answer is. It's difficult. A lot of I used to get a lot of work from like Instagram, but then that sucks now. So I don't.
Yeah, the algorithm's all different or some shit like that. I was trying to like figure out the algorithm when I was posting daily, but then I got so busy and I was just like, I can't post daily. Like I'm just fucking drawing all the time. Like I can't do this. And I don't think it's a good goal anyways. Like maybe if I had a stack of drawings, the goal was to get a stack of drawings saved up for like before the new year, so like I could draw and then have things posted on the daily. But that fell through because I didn't do those drawings ahead of time. So
unless you're like really having fun with it, I feel like the whole like post something on social media every day thing. I mean, I guess that's how we have to do it for like.
Yeah, for the algorithms.
People want to stay relevant, but I feel like it's just like a soul-killing goal unless you're like enjoying it or it's getting you work. If you're, I don't know. It's a weird thing. Social media sucks.
Social media sucks. Yeah.
It's a necessary evil.
I think what you have to do is if you're gonna do like a daily social media drawing thing, which could be useful. I almost wrote epidode. Like I was writing the word episode, but I had a cold. But I think for the social epidode, excuse me, this is DrawBomb episode 90 dicks. Excuse me, how many dicks? No, 90. But 90 but I think when it comes to the social media thing, if you're gonna do, let's not mention holes.
It'd be more concerning if they were. Oh my god.
But with the social media thing, if you post daily, it's got to be either stuff you've saved up ahead of time, or it's got to be just like easy drawings, like the same pose, just like different colors or whatever, like just like kind of the same, something that's you're going to be able to bang out in like an hour so that you can sort of get those followers, and then you can maybe wean yourself off of daily posting, and then like because you have so many followers at that point, you can be like, hey, here's this thing, or I need commissions, or etc.
I think people who post daily probably, when they sit down to draw, do a number of drawings, and then that's like a tool that they can use until the next time they sit down and do that type of thing. With purposes posting them. Also, I've been using on the Instagram. I've been using some of my drawings from here.
Nice.
Another nice way to do it.
Yeah, that's true. Except just kind of like posting old stuff.
DrawBomb, or are they on excuse me, Dropbox, or do I have them all?
I think most of the drawings are on the Dropbox.
Okay, good.
I think we should do
access to them too if you wanted to post it to your stuff.
Yeah, I think we should do like a cleanup at some point, like whenever we used to do with the waterlogged, kind of go through, be like, do we have everything saved? Okay, and then we clear out the Dropbox.
Yeah, I was looking for a file today, and I had to go through it. And, yeah, I was like, wow, this is a mess. There's no more space in there, so it's legit just like a museum of old work.
Yeah.
Put new things in there.
So maybe tonight.
We should definitely do that. Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Might be a good goal. We'll do it during the show. It'll be fun to watch.
Yeah, we could just show everyone all the stuff we did for like waterlogged, and for for DrawBomb, new and old. We could go through like the old D&D adventures we did. Good stuff.
Yeah, we should. That's what I should use. Speaking of social media, that's what I should use Twitter for. One day, maybe after 100th episode, I'll start actually social media, man.
I stay off of it
so much. I used to do it so much, and now I just like it's hard to push myself to do it again.
Yeah, I've pretty much stayed off of social media entirely. The only social media I've done has been Instagram, and like I don't use stories. I just used it to post art or maybe the occasional self-indulgent selfie. But like otherwise, that's the only social media I'm doing, and it's to look at like cool art or videos, like animations and things like that. And then it's Twitch, and that's about like, and I don't think I consider Twitch to be social media. Twitch is like a whole different thing, but like Instagram's it.
You're having fun with it, so it's different.
I guess so.
You don't hate it because you're enjoying it.
Yeah.
That makes sense. But you also did some. You haven't done a lot, but you did some TikTok, and that went pretty well.
Yeah, I posted
two. That's a good place to post some animations. People.
Yeah, for sure.
Like seeing something like unique, and you don't see as much animation on there is. I'm sure there's a big animation community on TikTok, but I would just say like naturally it doesn't show up as much as other things.
Yeah. I think with TikTok it's also hard because I noticed that there is like I did one animation on TikTok. I did two animations on TikTok. I did one that was horizontal landscape format, and I did one that was vertical format. And the one that was vertical format got way more engagement because people didn't have to turn their phone sideways to look at it because you could just scroll. So like TikTok is for like vertical format, and like if you mix that with Instagram, like you can sort of like it's just there's not a lot of situations where I would prefer to make a vertical video over a horizontal video.
To animate a whole animation in the aspect ratio for TikTok. Like this is the reason I'm making it. Like it's cool if you can post your work on TikTok, but if that's where it lives, it's
like a very limited space, you know.
Yeah.
And I guess like Instagram allows for vertical format too, but like it also allows for horizontal. I guess I mostly see like all the vertical format is clearly for your phone for like scrolling. And like I don't want to make media for a phone. And then that becomes a hard part with using like making things for TikTok. But like you can do the horizontal, you'll just get like way less engagement. It's much more of an uphill battle. So it's kind of like you choose which battle, like which, you know, sort of what your pro and what your con is. But it could be
what was that streaming service that was designed for phones?
Oh, Quibi?
And died immediately. Yeah, what a bad idea.
Yeah, that's
like people don't want. I mean, if you're watching on your phone, it's because there's not a TV nearby, and to like make that like the go-to.
Yeah. Also, like, people are on limited data plans, like on your phone. Generally, that's the default. Like, we were on a limited data plan, and then when I got my new phone, we got upgraded to an unlimited plan. I mean, it cost a little bit more, but they just like, here's unlimited data. Also, you get HBO. So, you know, I actually considered downloading like a Netflix app or an HBO app, something like that, because I technically could watch something on my phone now if I'm on the go. I can't think of any situation. I just can't think of any situation where I'm like far away and like I'll be like, oh, I'll watch a TV, like where I'll have enough time to look at like my phone, but like I'm out of the house. Like, am I driving? Like, no, because I won't be looking at my phone.
Times that I use the app to watch things is if I'm in bed or if I'm like casting to a TV that has like a Chromecast or something or a Fire Stick or whatever, or like in a car. That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Maybe if I'm like visiting family and I'm like sleeping in like I don't know, my childhood bedroom, like nothing to do and everybody's in bed at like 10. Maybe 10.
I can't think of many situations like I'll be in a car going a long enough distance to watch a TV show, but I'm not the one driving. You know, since you're in a relationship, that's a little bit more likely, but for me, like, I just don't see that happening in the near future for me, at least. That's where it becomes tough, is I just don't see a lot of situations where I'll, like, I consider downloading the Netflix app, or some kind of video streaming app. I have YouTube on it, and that's usually so I can, like, pull something up and be like, hey, check this fucking dumb thing out.
YouTube is used a lot in the bathroom for me.
Interesting.
Netflix, not so much, because YouTube, you can, videos average about 5 minutes, or at least some of them do. And,
yeah, it depends on what channels you're watching, because some long
stuff.
Yeah, long form. I could the thing is, TikTok is good for the bathroom. There's jokes where it's like TikToks for pooping, and it kind of is, because you have to take a shit. You go on a TikTok, the most a video can be is 3 minutes. So if you're really dilly-dallying, that's 2 videos, 6 minutes, taking a shit. That's a pretty good time to get off, I think, unless you're in for the long haul.
I like to laugh while I'm, taking a shit.
Yeah. And so, you the thing is, if it's a YouTube video, a lot of the channels I watch, their videos end up being 12 to 20 minutes long, or Red Letter Media up to an hour and a half.
The bathroom is I pick shorter things, obviously.
Yeah.
You got a goal at hand. Places to be afterwards.
Exactly. And you don't want your legs to fall asleep, because that is just uncomfortable.
40 minutes, people are gonna start asking questions.
Yeah. And again, your legs fall asleep.
A visual breakdown of the Batman movies. That's why
I was watching.
This house. I had to go that whole time.
A breakdown of the Batman movies.
So Ian, speaking
Yes.
of Batman movies.
Yes. Yes.
Name your favorite Batman movies in order.
Oh God. Okay.
I'm just kidding. I was gonna.
Definitely the George Clooney one, because Kiss from a Rose is my jam. Yeah, that's the top one.
Is that the George Clooney one? Yeah, or is it the Val Kilmer one?
Oh God, I don't know.
I think it's the Val Kilmer one. It is.
Okay.
Have you seen the music video?
For Kiss from a Rose?
Yeah.
Yeah, every day of my life.
It's amazing.
It's so good.
It's meant to be dramatic, but it plays like a comedy sketch. I think it didn't age well, but
no, it didn't.
It's a scene where Batman dramatically turns at the camera, but the old rubber heads were so funny. The masks.
Yeah, and the sound effects.
They did it to the music. It was supposed to be a dramatic moment, and it gets me every time. I just watched it recently, actually.
I love it. Anytime I can be reminded or watch the Kiss from a Rose music video or song is a good day. Yeah.
People in the chat watch that. Go watch that now.
Go watch it. Go watch Kiss from a Rose. Have you been playing any video games?
Yeah, I just got the new Pokemon.
Oh yeah?
I tend to play a lot of the Pokemons because my brother plays them. He loves them all. He's like a man-child, and I mean it in the nicest way. When it comes to media and the things he enjoys, it's things that my 8-year-old nephews really love. But he also knows how to fix a car, and he's an electrician. He's handy, so
he's a literal dad.
Yeah, he has both aspects down, but he loves don't get him started on Naruto. He'll talk to you about it for hours.
Oh yeah, he and Kyle get along grand.
He loves every Pokemon. He plays them all, and so I play them too. I enjoy them too. I'm not saying it's just for him, but I play them because it's something we can play with each other and battle each other and stuff like that. Anyways, the new one, I've been pretty fatigued on Pokemon for at least the last 5 years or more, because they're the same game 100 times. The one that came out when I was a child is still the same game. Anyways, the newest one is actually different. They actually kind of mixed it up finally. It plays kind of it still has a ways to go, which is a rough review for the most successful game company of all time.
Yeah.
Or game franchise of all time. But it plays kind of open world, and you're just running around it's kind of a lot of people drawing the comparison to Breath of the Wild. You're running around, and they're actually just Pokemon are just around, and you have to catch them and battle them in real time. It doesn't cut away to a fight,
which is cool.
They can actually hurt you, so you have to dodge their attacks and stuff like that.
Yeah, I saw one person trying to get
in the right direction.
I saw one person a video of a person trying to get a Ponyta, and it was just spitting fire at them. And I was watch out. Like, that's cool. I
so
like that.
Yeah, it's definitely the best one that has come out in a long time because they did something different first time in, I don't know how long, forever, since the first game.
But you said they still have like a ways to go?
In some ways it feels rushed. There's certain graphical, not I don't care that much about graphics at the end of the day, but there's certain graphical things that are like, why did you do it this way? Like, why, this feels half-assed in certain ways. And it's like, the technology's there for you to do way more. There was a part where I was running through a cave and there was like a white, like, jagged outline around my character, just like it looks kind of shitty in a lot of ways. The models aren't very good, and they totally have the resources to make that stuff better. And the Switch can definitely do more than they did with it, you know?
But
just,
do they
visually it kind of looks like shit in some ways. It's definitely better than the previous ones.
Right.
But those look like shit too, more so. I don't know. It feels lazy in some ways, but definitely almost the game I want.
Do they have like a 3D model for every Pokemon, or do they have all the Pokemon, like all 800?
Not all of them.
15 or something like that, or is it just like the?
Dude, if you think there's only 115 Pokemon now,
no, 815.
Oh no!
I've watched the Brian David Gilbert Pokemon rap. I know how many Pokemon there are.
They're not all in it. It's a select number.
Okay.
It would be cool if they did all of them. That'd be great. And then, yeah, there's 3D models for all of them, but they kind of look a little shitty. It's not the best. They could do better.
They are a very successful game company. I mean, they
don't really have excuses. That's the thing. That's the only reason I'm being hard on them. It's because they have the money, but I think it's been working out for them so well to just repackage the same thing at the least amount of effort possible.
Right.
But yeah. Leviathan Den's back. Crush my deadlift. I did 355 pounds 4 times for 10 sets. As someone who doesn't lift much or ever, I don't know what that means, but it sounds great. Fantastic job. I know what it means. I guess I do know what it means, but
you have the weight on like a bar, and then you pick it up, and then you put it back.
Lift it, and
you
then
just
you die.
You barely even lift it. You just like pick it up. It's like when you like you just like pick something up and like you just have it down there. Like you don't even like you don't curl.
You get it off the ground.
You get it off the ground. You're like, okay, I'm done. And you put it back down.
355 pounds. That's
a lot.
Not bad. Good work.
Good way to hurt your back. I couldn't do deadlifts anymore. My back.
You do it right. You do the belt. You do the lifting belt. You have the right form and stuff like that. I think.
Make sure your anus doesn't prolapse.
Well, that been there, done that. Like it's too late now. Once it's prolapsed, it doesn't go back.
Yeah, you can't put that back in the cornucopia.
Special pants. Belbo Rocket says, "Where's the push-up reward?" Ha! We don't have one, so.
Yeah, we never did that, did we? Thank God.
I know that. I really need to start working out. After doing that, I only did like 27, I think, and my arms were like sore the next day from just 27 push-ups, normal push-ups, no books on my back. So there you go.
I did put a push-up reward on my channel.
Oh, la-di-da.
Nobody's
Look, Ian, if you think you're better than me, say it. You need to these little hints.
Real quick, can you do me a favor? This is going behind the curtain. Can you just make sure our sound alerts log into the sound alerts? Because if people go, wow.
Oh.
Because I've noticed that sound alerts has to get turned on before you stream.
Really?
Every time. It's very annoying. I
never had to do that when I ran it. Or on my, when I was hosting.
Yeah, I know. It's weird. I don't know why. I put sound alerts as a doc on my OBS, but it logs into my profile instead of the DrawBomb one.
Alright, well, I'm on it. I'm gonna check it out. I'm gonna figure this thing out.
We're gonna get it.
Oh, come on! Hey, kappa, hey.
Okay, I think we're good.
Those work?
Yeah, you basically just need to log in and then you can close it out. It's just like the logging in apparently. It doesn't work unless you log in, and I don't know why. Maybe it's like a setting.
Did someone try and it didn't work?
No, I just noticed that people have tried for my channel and it doesn't work unless I open up the sound alerts, and I'm like, I don't know why.
Well, that's interesting.
Yeah, it's a pain in the ass. But we're good now. As long as we get it like logged in, like right before. Just like, it's weird.
I'll do that from now on.
Yeah. I put it as a browser doc, and I was hoping that when I switched to the DrawBomb profile, it would log in on the DrawBomb thingy, but nope.
How about you? Have you been playing anything lately?
Oh god. I beat that Into the Pit game.
You've been doing some Twitch streaming.
I've been doing a little bit of Twitch streaming.
Watch this enjoyable stuff. You should definitely go over to Ian's page, which is Top Cat yet?
Yeah, it's not good.
On Twitch, yeah. Follow that. Follow it immediately. Why haven't you followed it yet? What are you doing?
What are you doing?
You're like waiting. I know you're all waiting every Monday till the following Monday just to watch us again, but you know, there's content being made live and you should check it out. So
Make it reach your eyeballs. But yeah, I've been doing a little bit of Twitch streaming. I beat that Into the Pit game that I tried streaming. I didn't do it on stream though.
I beat it because I feel like you kept saying like, we'll see if we keep playing this.
Yeah.
It's kind of repetitive, and then you just play the whole thing.
Yeah, I was like, okay, this is the same shit. I'll just like play it off stream until it becomes different, and it never did. I even like did the final boss chapter thingy, which I like. You could like you're supposed to save up to 45 people or whatever if you go through all the dungeons. I was like, I'm not doing that.
From the pit?
Yeah, I didn't try freeing them from the pit, so you know, I didn't. But I beat the game anyways, and I didn't feel like 100%ing that game, which is about the most denigrating thing I can say about a game. Is if my brain was not like, I gotta 100% this game, then you fucked up. Like, yeah, it's not a good game if I didn't want to 100% it.
I'm the way where like I play something and I'm like, ooh, I'm gonna do everything in this game, and then I like just set it down. Probably don't finish it, even though I want to. It just never happens.
Yeah, that's the difficulty with those games, like the Yakuza games. That's what happened with you as well, is because they just give you so much to do, and it's like.
I barely dug into that, but I think I will. I just haven't yet.
Now that I have a better graphics card installed in the computer, and this is probably as good as it's gonna get for a while. I've been thinking about. They're off of Game Pass now, so I'd have to like buy them on Steam, but I'd be okay with it.
The Yakuza games, they're off.
Yeah. They're just 1 and 2, the Kiwamis, like the graphical remasters. I'm assuming the other ones are not far behind, because they kind of like sort of got put on there at the same time. But I was thinking about buying the Kiwami games because on Steam, because I loved the shit out of them, and then I was thinking I could stream them, because like why not?
What was our idea for that? Forget. We had an idea for you streaming Yakuza, and there was some weird, like,
Jacuzzi. There was at the end of Jacuzzi would be Yakuzi.
You play Yakuza from a jacuzzi.
Yakuza.
You'd be checking 2 boxes. You would double your Twitch viewership.
I would actually be so down for that. I would have to figure out how I would manage, but I would do it.
Yakuza. Come on, guys. Donate for a good cause.
Yeah. It'd have to happen like I'd have to use a laptop somehow.
Yep. You'd need to like set up a outside space, and then you'd have to probably be like warm months, and then you probably, I assume you wouldn't buy a full jacuzzi. They have like
do like those little kiddie pools.
Ones.
Yeah.
Well, they have inflatable jacuzzis, so it's like still warm water and stuff.
True.
But a little bit more easy to set up. Belba Rocket says, I've been meaning to play it, but I'd like to watch a stream too. I feel like that's honestly a game that you could enjoy equally watching it played versus actually playing it.
Yeah, there's a lot of movie. It's like a Kojima game in that like it also wants to be a movie. So like there'll be like points where you're like, okay, I'm moving on in the plot. Like you can play the game and like dick around on the side missions, and that'll take you 30 hours before you move on to the next story mission. And obviously 30 hours is a bit of an exaggeration, but it's not far off. But and then you'll go to like the next part of the story, and you're like, okay, time to watch a movie for 25 minutes. And then you do that, and it's always like super complicated. The government's always like doing shit, and the Yakuza is like getting involved, and et cetera, et cetera. And like the stories are great. They're a lot of fun. but they're very complicated and in depth, and like they are made to be like a movie when you're like they're very clearly inspired by Kojima's sort of sensibilities.
You definitely sent me a lot of like screenshots and things happening and kept me updated on certain fun beats.
Yeah.
I enjoy them and I feel like I would like to play them. One day maybe.
And they're great games for
games.
they're like good games for like some games are good for a stream where you just chill and like play something and like chat with folks, and those games are definitely like that kind of game where you could take a lot of time and just kind of be like, let's just like play bowling in Yakuza and have a fun little chat.
I love having fun little chats. That's why I do this show.
Yeah. This show is essentially a fun little chat.
Oh, it is. I have fun. I know that's the truth.
Oh, you do?
I do. I'm having a great time.
I'm coming at this. You sound like you're not having fun, actually.
Really?
Well, when you say it like that, you're like, oh yeah, I'm having a great time.
Well, I just say everything very dryly. I don't know. It's become a habit, honestly. I found out early on in life, especially when I was younger, saying things very dryly would get like a comedic response. Especially when you're a kid. And now it's just like so ingrained to me that people are like, I can't tell if you're pissed off or if you're actually like serious right now. And I'm like, oh, I'm fine. I'm like, if I'm pissed off, that's a whole different thing. You know.
I've taken like the same sort of route where I don't try, like, I will get emphatic sometimes, but like it's not my standard way of being, is being like overly boisterous or something like that. And people just tend to like just laugh when I'm like, not even when I'm trying to make a joke, I'll just like say something and people will be like, ha! And I'll be like, I'm what? Get it.
I'm being goddamn serious.
What did I say that makes you laugh?
Everything this guy says is a stitch.
I have AIDS. That's a joke from Family Guy, folks. Don't cancel us. It's vintage Fam Guy, first episode.
Oh, that is the first episode. Wow.
Actually, I've been watching a little bit of the new season. I have been watching. So we had Derek, our friend, on a long time ago on the show, sometime last year. I miss him, by the way. But
We should have him back. I haven't really talked to him in a little while either.
We should get another server or something like that going with him.
We had a holiday. Yeah, we should. We had a holiday party recently, and he was gonna be there, but then one of his roommates tested positive for a COVID.
Oh no!
So he wasn't there. But so I haven't seen him in a while either.
Well, we should reconnect because love that guy.
Play Valheim again.
We should play Valheim again. They've made some updates. But we were talking with him, and he brought up that show, The Great North, which is like looks like Bob's Burgers. I think it's like a lot of the same people from Bob's Burgers, but it's about like some kind of family in Alaska. Right. And I watched a bunch of other shows, and I didn't feel like getting into anything serious yet, so I started watching that again recently. And when Derek first talked about it, I was kind of like, it's not so, like, he was like, oh, I'm starting to like it, and I was like, oh, it's not so good. You don't gotta waste your time with that bullshit.
You yuck a lot of yums off air.
I do, and I felt bad. I did that one on air. I yucked that yum on air.
Oh, that was on the show, my bad.
Yeah. But,
shame on you.
I know, I'm such a yum yucker, which is like the worst thing you can be.
One of those.
Don't want to be a yum yucker. You want to yum yums. You don't want to yuck yums. Or if, at least you want to yum yum. You want to yum yum. You want to yum yum.
You do want to
get that on a t-shirt. But anyways, I started watching that show again because I was never like against it. I just thought like it had to find its voice, and I'm really I'm enjoying it a lot more. It's still not as good as Bob's Burgers, but Bob's Burgers is really fantastic. So obviously that's a high bar. But I've enjoyed it. I haven't like disliked my time watching it, and it's funny.
The vibe I get is kind of like Social Opposites meets Rick and Morty.
It's more like it's like the premise
made by the same people to some degree, or some of the same people.
Yeah, it's just plot wise it's very different. It's Like the yeah, it's not about aliens, but like conceptually, it's like basically like the dad is like a hardcore outdoors Alaskan type guy, and their like the rest of the family like isn't like diametrically opposite of that. Like they're all like able to handle the outdoors, but like they have their own pursuits. Like the son, who's voiced by Will Forte, he really like wants to be like his dad, but he's just like not quite as good as his dad. But it's you know it's pretty heartwarming. It's a very nice show. It's good comfort food. Same way Bob's Burgers is. Yeah. Man, I wonder what our stream looks like, because that bar has not gone out of the red this whole time.
Yeah, if you're watching, let us know if we're dropping frames or cutting out. I have it up in a side window and it doesn't look very choppy, but I also haven't been focusing like super close on it. It's pretty good. Is your scientist going to be in front or behind the table?
Well, how much do you like those feet you drew? Because I can do it either way. I don't, you know.
You know, they're not the best feet I've drawn.
They're not the worst feet I've seen.
I draw a lot of feet. I mentioned commissions earlier, right? A lot of
hey man,
there's a
fucking
big market for it.
Fetish art pays the most. Furry fetish art pays the most, apparently.
You better yum this yum, because it is paying the bills over here.
Yeah.
You can cover them up if you'd like. Bubba Rocket says, seems okay.
Okay.
With ellipses, which makes me go, does it though?
I think it's like one of those things where you're like, well, I didn't notice anything before, and now I see everything wrong with it.
Additionally, like knocking on wood type thing. Like, good at the
True.
moment.
Knocking on wood right now. Yeah, like if the audio doesn't seem choppy, like the thing is, the convenient thing about this stream is even when the latency is bad, there's not a whole lot going on in the visuals. Like we might go choppy, but honestly, like as long as the drawing, you can see it progressing. That's all I really care about. Anyways.
Yeah. I mean, I think people maybe enjoy a break from seeing our faces live. You know. Like,
I agree.
God, I don't. So,
so go on, finish that. Can I finish that thought?
No, that was the end. That's self-deprecation at its finest. So.
No.
I just looked over and saw myself zoomed in now. So I'm like, hi everyone.
This stream deck was the worst thing to happen for this stream. It's just so
disagree.
easy.
I think it's great. We just gotta. I mean, you've already done a lot of cool things with it, but I wanna come up with some creative uses that we can implement. That'll be fun.
I was zoomed in on you again.
There's some latency, so now I'm seeing it show up.
Oh, okay.
That's alright. I like it.
I like it. I like, you know, it adds a nice touch occasionally when we want to emphasize or, you know, make someone very uncomfortable.
Yeah, well, you know, you can do both at the same time.
I'm doing it right now again.
It's a good I've noticed, I was watching some streams recently, and they're ones you watch too, so, so a lot of people are using this browser-based drawing application. Have you used that at all yet?
Aggie.io.
Do you like it?
Aggie is cool. It's definitely nice. Like, I think it's cool because, I know, Lord Spew streams, he'll, like, set up an Aggie for people to draw along with, and he'll have, like, a feed showing the Aggie, which is a really fun, thing. We actually do have a lot of space to the left of that little bomb. We could set up, like, an Aggie for our viewers if they ever were so inclined. You know, but as for a program for drawing on it itself, as a Firefox user, like, it's unusable on Firefox because, as much as I love Firefox kind of sucks. Like, any, like Gartic phone.
Chrome now.
Yeah, Chrome is, like, what you gotta use for, you know, a drawing program if you're gonna use it. But, I mean, aside from that, it's pretty good. It's got pretty much the same amount of features that DrawPile has. I'm assuming it's a little easier to set up a room, so if we're ever like really desperate to get an episode of DrawPile.
Right, and also if we have guests, we don't have to download it.
True, that too. I do kind of prefer using DrawPomb, but maybe that's just because I've used it a lot more.
Yeah, no, I like DrawPomb.
Yeah.
It's like no major complaints about it.
Yeah.
It works pretty well.
But I've definitely done some comparisons too, because I'm always on the lookout for better, you know?
Exactly, that's the reason I ask, because like, if there's something better, cool, let's use it, you know?
Yeah.
But until then, I'm down with this. Fine.
I still want to say, like, how much of a, like, how majestic it was to be Googling, like, a solution to our problem. Like, we used to have to, folks, just as a little, as a little history lesson, we used to, like, storyboard and, like, script out our one comic on iScribble, which was terrible.
It's gone down, but it's about to come back.
Is it really?
Yeah, it was gone for years, and then like somebody like did a Kickstarter and is in the process of bringing it back, along with the collaborative drawing tool. So who knows? Maybe that will be another.
Yeah, maybe that'll be the next best thing.
We'll see how it is. But anyways, go on.
Well, yeah, we used iScribble, and then we used version 1 of OpenCanvas, and at that point they had already been up to like version 13 or something like that, but only in version 1 did they have the option to draw on the same canvas as somebody. So I had to like I saved the download file, or like the .exe to install
we had
it.
to find websites that would like had that still, because there was a small community, because it was like one of the only options at the time. And
Yeah.
so people were holding on to that download file so that you could then do that.
But it was tough.
Yeah, and it was not the best, but it crashed a lot. I think is one major
It
issues.
crashed. And also it would crash, but also if you ever ran into any internet issues whatsoever, like somebody else had to finish the drawing up. There was just a lot of downsides. There was no text feature, if I remember correctly, or was there a text feature?
There was, but it was bad. It was super like teeny tiny.
Okay.
This one doesn't have a text feature, does it?
Yeah, it does.
Oh, it does. Oh yeah, I see it. There it
Well,
is.
the reason I think that OpenCanvas didn't have a text feature is I remember we would have to save the JPEG, and then I would have to edit in the text in Photoshop afterwards based on like a chat script we had, because like OpenCanvas, we would either have to like write the text out, which we didn't want to do, or we'd have to do it that way, which is why I think DrawPile was also like a godsend, because it was a better program, it was being updated, it was modern, and you could select, you had like a marquee tool, and because it had the text, and that was like, oh my god, we've never had text.
Before we were doing the show, we were using it to collaborate on work.
Yeah.
And you know, I don't think we would even attempted the show if we were still
Oh
using,
god.
like, one of those previous things.
I think we did. Didn't we try on the, or did we always have DrawPile when we did like
I
the
thought we always had
original?
DrawPile. I didn't realize we did, because like Open Canvas used to, like, if it crashed, you would lose everything on the screen. Even if you rejoined, you would come back to an empty canvas. So, and it crashed a lot. It would happen almost every time. So it was like a race against the clock before the
Yeah,
thing
true.
crashed. So I don't think we would have attempted this.
I guess you're right.
with
Yeah.
that. I could be wrong. I don't.
No, I think
but
you're right about that. I think you are right.
Yeah.
So yeah, like DrawPile was a godsend, and it's why we do this show. Yeah, you know, any options are good. I think eventually OpenCanvas had like said they were talking about bringing it back, like the online collaboration features, but also I think you have to pay for OpenCanvas now. So like, no, thank you.
Yeah, I'll use this. This is fine. Who knows? Maybe with like the popularity of streaming, there will be more collaborative drawing things in the future. Who knows?
Very
This
true.
one's fine though. Not like,
Yeah.
I just always like to upgrade, but this gets the job done.
I'm a coveter. I'm always looking out for better options. I covet. I can't help it.
You're
It's
Looking
one of the
at your
deadly
neighbor's
sins.
donkey.
Yeah. Coveting the shit out of that donkey.
It's a nice donkey. Look at me. Neighbor's got a nice ace.
If he didn't want to fucking people to covet that ass, he wouldn't be flaunting it.
He's always flaunting his ass around.
Flaunting
walking
his
down the
covetous
street.
ass. But yeah, so I'm glad we have DrawPile. Aggie looks fine. Aggie does have a more robust version of itself called like Magma Studio, and I think that's got like textured brushes. So like if we're ever trying to really like,
Might be worth playing around with one day and seeing.
Yeah,
what we
I think it's like $100, but like I mean, I you know, if I'm doing well enough money wise, you know, I'll drop some money to try some shit out. I'm an adult now. I can spend my money on programs.
You're a grown man. I can buy software now, Dad.
I can buy my own software. Where'd you learn to buy software like you're doing? From you. I learned it from watching you.
That's funny. So, Ian, have you watched anything lately? I know you've been binging through Red Letter Media.
I have, yeah. Actually, we finished all of the Mr. Plinkett reviews, so I'm like their best customer.
You are.
I've watched all of their Half in the Bags, I've watched all of the Best of the Worsts, and I've watched all of the Mr. Plinketts.
It's a lot of content.
It's a lot of content.
Gone through.
I'm a little, dare I say it, I'm a little, like, worn out from it.
Yeah. Well, I like that you keep going, even though it's like supposed to be entertainment. And you're like, well, I gotta finish it.
It's like the same goblin in my brain that makes me want 100% a game. It's the goblin in my brain that it's like a completionist aspect of me. It's like it's there. There's a finite point. I can get there.
That was a very real thing for you.
Can't help it.
If only I could. If you could. I mean, you're pretty good at getting things done, but I was gonna say, only take that energy and put it into like tasks versus like YouTube channels.
Yeah. Well, it's like it's a momentum thing. Like, it'll take me like a week to get around to doing. No, I mean, I'm a lot better about it now. But like, it used to be like it'll take me a week to get to doing the dishes. But if I start, then it'll be like an hour and a half, and it's so easy to just get it done. But it's the getting started that's the hard part.
You have an hour and a half worth of dishes?
No, thank God. No. But like, if it was,
I'm the same way though. I don't know. Maybe that's not to self-diagnose. Maybe we're like ADHD or something. But I'm the same way. When I'm doing something, I'm in the zone and I can just like do it for a long time. But getting myself to do it is the hard part.
Yeah.
Like if I sit down to draw something, I can do it for like 12 hours without stopping and like not thinking about anything else and not being like, I don't want to be done. I'd like, and unless it's like a really need to get done. But if I'm in the zone, I can just go. But getting myself get in the zone is the hard part.
It's not easy, but it's like I was working on some art for my friend, one of the commissions earlier today, and I was like ready to take a break. And then I saw that Pendleton Ward was streaming, and I was like, whenever he streams, I watch him work for like a little bit, and then I'm like, oh, I gotta get some work done. And so I did that, and it was great. And I spent like another 2 hours working on my shit. And that's a lot of time. I spent a lot of time working, is what I'm trying to say. But you know, it's always hard getting that like just getting the car in motion.
It's really satisfying me to have a completed project. So like. That keeps me going because I'm just excited to see the finished product.
Yeah.
Leviathan Den is back again. It says, "I'm sore already, lads." I believe it. You know, climbing ropes, you lifting dead things, you pushing tires around. I assume I've seen CrossFit. I know what it is.
Are you doing like the rope slappies?
Oh yeah.
Are you slapping the ropes? What are they called? They call those like murder ropes or something like that.
Indiana Jones's.
Is that what they call them?
I don't know. But yeah, you throw ropes around, climb those ropes.
Climbing those ropes.
Yeah.
You know what they say about Spider-Man? He was always shooting ropes.
It's true. They were always saying that.
Okay. Anyways, I have not seen the new Spider-Man. I'm waiting for it to be on Disney Plus.
Yeah, that's fair.
I ain't going to no theater.
Nah, I didn't either. Let's leave it at that. I don't even get
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, that's funny.
I wasn't going to like announce that, and then
you just sort of. Well, the thing is, it's fun because we're always like, oh, I didn't do this thing this way, and it's like, okay, so the only other option is.
Yeah. You know, draw your own conclusions. Maybe my uncle is like a Yeah, maybe maybe I'm related to the Disneys. You don't know. Maybe that's how I saw it.
Are you a Disney?
I'm one of the Gisneys of the Disney fortune.
The Goonies. That should be a Goonies like parody. Is the Gisneys, where it's like a bunch of kids and they're looking for like the lost treasure of Disney, who he had his head frozen. Yeah, exactly. Was going. I've watched that. I've watched that movie, and I haven't even seen the Goonies.
They would get sued, probably.
That's true.
Leviathan Dunn says the stream froze for me for like 10 minutes. I don't know if that's true for everyone. Hopefully not. But, sorry about that. We're dealing with a little bit of lagginess. We're doing our best to fight through.
Yeah. Sometimes when the stream doesn't kickstart, if you pause it and start it again, sometimes it'll kickstart it again. We also got redeemed posture check and hydrate.
And
just scooch my chair.
Dance.
Oh, fuck. Who does the dance?
So
do we each do a dance?
I think you have to hydrate well, keeping it very like straight back and drink.
It's a beautiful dance. Look at that.
Thanks.
What do you call that?
Use your. I like the zoom technique. What don't you call that? I'm just practicing for my first dance at my wedding. I think I've almost got it down.
I think you nailed it. I guess now I have to do a dance, right? Like that's.
Call it the posture dance.
All right.
I think you should.
I'm gonna call this one the hydrate dance, because you called yours the posture dance. It's only fair.
Getting the lighting good, that's important. Oh, okay. Little kickies. Okay, so he does this stream without socks. That's just information for everybody that you may not have known. He hasn't hydrated at all during the hydrate day. So I have notes. I have notes for you.
Oh boy, I can't wait to hear him.
Overall, I really like the energy. I liked what you were bringing to the table. It was inspired. Unique, creative, but it was called the hydrate dance, and you didn't drink your water at all during the hydrate dance.
I drank my full cup. My whole cup is empty. I drank it all before the dance.
Oh, I see.
I picked my cup up and realized so
it was just bad planning. I understand now. But other than that, great job. Good job.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
I hope Balbo Rocket and Leviathan Den feel validated in their purchase.
Yeah, but I hope it was worth it.
Worth those points. You earned them.
Yeah. Want those points! I wish there was there should be an economy with the points where we get something in return for all the points they spend. Like money.
That would be great, yeah. Yeah. Even if it was small. Something to kind of show the amount of points that you generated and had spent type thing.
Yeah. I mean, there's ways to do that. You can do channel point goals at the top that everyone works towards. But that doesn't benefit us in any way. I want something that benefits me. What about me?
Is this little line at the bottom? Is that you're doing?
Oh, I don't know. The one by the gear shaft thing.
Yeah. Leviathan Den in the meantime says, I'm drinking an Eagle Brewery Banana Bread Brown Ale. That's a mouthful. Hard to say. Eagle Brewery Banana Bread Brown Ale. Brewery Banana Bread Brown.
Bring broop.
Says tastes just like banana bread. Well, that's good. I would hope so. Sometimes the titles lie to you.
True.
And also, sometimes you fly too close to the sun. You find that beer that tastes, or drink that tastes exactly like it says, and you're like, why did I think I wanted that all? I think I've mentioned before, when I moved to Grand Rapids, Michigan was having a very big, craft beer boom. Still is, known for that. A lot of people come here for that, because there's, a million breweries. But they've all chilled out a little bit because in the beginning they were like, or like back then they were trying to like be overly creative and come up with like weird shit and like very experimental, which I'm sure is fun for them, but also when it comes to like things you want to drink, I don't know. At the time I was enjoying it too, trying weird shit, but now I'm like, you know, I know what I like. But anyways, I remember for the longest time there were a lot of beers that were like, this has bacon flavor in it, and I tried many beers. And I'm like, I don't taste bacon. I don't taste it. I was like, I don't taste it at all. I don't know about that. And then finally one time I tried one that actually tasted like bacon, and it was absolutely disgusting. And I'm like, why did I think I wanted that? Why did I think that would be great?
There's a lot of beers where they go for a flavor, and it's a complete mistake. Like the amount of watermelon beers that I've had in my life,
I've had some good ones. They're decent. I've had like a good watermelon, like Gose, I think is how they're pronounced. But you need something that's more. It's kind of like a slightly sour, like tart beer, and that works pretty well.
Okay, but I just because I just had a lot of like beers, and I have had the good occasional watermelon beer, but the ratio is definitely like bad, like off. Like trying to go for the watermelon flavor, and all it does is just taste like too bitter, like fruit, like a Kool-Aid that didn't get all the flavor packet in it. You know what I mean? If that makes sense.
Water?
Yeah, just too close to water. And not watermelon.
Let's see, they got the water part down. They just did not get the melon part in, which is the key part, probably the more important part. Leviathan Dense. Bell Rocket says, thanks, you get my attention and adoration. Good, that's why we do it. Leviathan Den says, the banana bread or the DrawBomb? I'm trying to think what that's referring.
I think he's asking if Bell Rocket is referring to...
Oh, got it.
Yeah.
That makes sense. I see.
It's okay.
I missed the piece.
Solving mysteries in the chat.
It's okay. Yeah, we get it for our sick moves.
Yeah, for our slick, bustin' moves, like young MC.
And the posture dance.
Yeah. Those sound like Schoolhouse Rock songs. I know we did the Schoolhouse Rock drawing last week, or the week before that, but they sound indeed like...
Posture dance.
Yeah.
You know, I wasn't gonna do it, but then they wrote a catchy song, and now I'm standing up straight. I need to work on my posture because in real life, because I'm gonna like be an old little curled up old man if I don't. I like sit at a table at a restaurant and I like hunch over.
Oh, no.
That kind of stuff is bad.
I've actually been, since the new year, been making a concerted effort to improve my posture. I've got a pillow behind my back right here that I use, and I like push it into the small of my back. And then I try and like make sure I sit back, and then like
bar support.
Yeah, trying to make sure I give myself that, and then like when I walk around the house, I'm like trying to keep my shoulder blades back, and I've been trying to like, cause you know when I was visiting you guys in Chicago, I think I've already told the story on the show a few times, but it's very very real for me. But when we were visiting the museum in Chicago, like in July, like my fucking back was hurting by the time we were just like halfway through going through the museum. I was just like, ow, my back. And like, I don't want that. Yeah, your back, you've been to a chiropractor a few times, haven't you?
Yeah, in the past. I need to go back, but I have trash back.
Trash back.
That sciatica was, so it's like right now as I'm sitting here, there's like pain shooting down my leg. And that's just my existence.
Oh my god.
Like,
you're in pain right now?
Oh yeah. Just a little bit. It's faint, but it's there.
Ow! I don't think you should be in
That's
pain.
sciatica for you.
Yeah, I mean, my ex had sciatica.
There's no real cure either. There's like, do stretches, and I do, and they help. And it tends to go away for years at a time, and then it comes back. And right now, it's one of the times that it's back, so that's fine.
My ex had sciatica, but she had like sciatica, and then she also had arthritis, like early onset arthritis in her pelvis, due to I think a number of circumstances. I forget what exactly, but you know, but either way, So she was just like we worked in a restaurant, so like she'd have to like carry plates to the dinner table, and then like she'd be in like horrible pain because her sciatica would be like acting up constantly, and so like she was just it was a struggle. It sucks for sure, especially like when you're very young. You're not supposed to be having like arthritis in your pelvis yet,
Right.
of all places.
Right. Getting out of the game there.
Yeah. Growing old early.
Yeah. I've had back issues for a while, so that's a fun thing. I'm working on it.
Yeah, I'm trying to improve my posture. Just because, and also I think it's good for your motivation if your posture is good, because I've thought about it and it's like your posture is bad, probably like, you know, subconsciously you're uncomfortable because your back's not the way it should be, and you're also looking down, whereas if your back is, you know, back straight, you're in a more conducive to what your body is supposed to be sort of position. You're looking forward and ahead. It probably does something for your psyche as well to like be.
Plus, back pain is debilitating. It like keeps you from wanting to do anything.
True.
Like, well, I'm just gonna fucking sit here because life is pain.
Yeah.
No, you don't go do things.
I was brushing my teeth last night and my back was hurting, and I was just like, this shouldn't be.
You were brushing far too vigorously.
I guess so.
Your dad was watching you, so that's what was making.
Yeah, he was keeping an eye on me, making sure he was like, I'm gonna get those disclosing tablets for you.
You haven't got those molars. I didn't see you get those. I don't know how many teeth you have, but there's like a.
There's a number. Did you know there's like a number and a letter for each teeth?
I do. When I go, they test like gums to make sure they're not receding. And so they have the dentist or two of the hygienists, and one is checking and yelling out, or not yelling.
We got a 4D.
Speaking numbers, and then the other one's like logging it, so to make sure that it's not changing from one appointment to another.
Right.
But yeah,
I don't care. I know. I just
ask
know.
your dad, what's his favorite tooth?
If you had to pick one, if Sophie's choice, you had to get rid of all your teeth except for one, which would it be?
Ian's dad, not to blow up the spot. We're not going to name his practice word, but Ian's dad's a dentist.
Yeah, that's the joke. I feel like I brought it up before.
I definitely have. I don't know why I bring it up, so I guess I don't know many dentists.
It's you know, it's definitely. I don't know a lot of. There's not a lot of dentists in the world. There just aren't.
There's not. There you go.
We're a little past 9.
It's alright. I like the way this is looking.
Looking good.
In your opinion, who is the real monster, Frankenstein or Frankenstein's monster?
Probably the creature that was cobbled out of human parts that also did a few murders.
Yeah, that was definitely the fucking monster. The monster that.
You know, like the zombie that kills people? That's probably the monster. You know, the inhuman being that's also ripping people's heads from their spines? That's the monster for sure. Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. Have you ever actually read the novelization?
Have not.
Interesting.
Should I?
Yeah, it's very good.
Okay, cool.
It's like
older things. It's not a critique of the writing, but sometimes they're hard. They translate not as well as time goes.
It's still very good.
Well,
it's the first science fiction story. It's I mean, I think that's what people consider it, like, to be the first science fiction story. It's good, and you know, it's got like this really good sort of it's not a dumb story. You know, it's actually a really, really smart story. And it's you know, you say like, oh, who is the real monster, Frankenstein or the monster? And like, while that's not like the explicit question that the story is asking, it is asking sort of about the responsibilities of like you've made this creature, like in what ways are you responsible for it? And
you wanted to see if you could, you didn't stop to ask if you should.
Yeah, and there's just a lot going on in that book, and I think, and like, you know, the monster is given a lot of just a lot of heart and character and stuff, and it's not even present all that much in the book, like explicit. It's a hard book to explain without like just like saying what happens in it explicitly. Excuse. But yeah, I don't know. It's worth checking out. It's not a big read either. It's like, I want to say it's 120 pages.
I'll give it a go.
Yeah.
I'm really excited for the sequel, Frankenstein, Bride of Frankenstein.
Yeah, I hear it's a good movie. I hear that Bride of Frankenstein's a good movie.
Might be.
I don't know. I haven't watched
Bill
it.
Frankenstein at the end of Frankenstein?
In the movie Frankenstein, I think so, don't they? Or yeah.
I don't know.
I don't
Maybe
remember.
he
I
gets to
haven't
live on a
watched it.
farm somewhere. I don't remember.
I think what happens is Lenny, George comes up behind him, and he says, "Frankenstein, I want you to look over there. Look at the rabbits, Frankenstein." And Frankenstein's like, "Rabbits," and then George is like, "Just look at the rabbits, Frankenstein. Just look at the rabbits." And yeah, that's what happens, I think.
Wow. There you have it.
Steinbeck, y'all.
Give one of these bombs an ear.
I did give him an ear, didn't I? I should get rid of that.
I almost gave the Frankenstein an ear. That's the only reason I realized.
Oh, I'm glad you're pointing that out. We have a style, folks. We have a style guide for these bombs.
Bell rocket. I mean, we do and we don't. There's no rules, but
Yeah,
I feel like there's certain things we do. We don't give them noses very often.
That's true.
They get hair.
They get hair sometimes. Sometimes the fuse is lit, sometimes it's not.
Yeah. I like that you've used the fuse as like a weird piece of like hair on a baldy man.
Yeah, I thought about that. I was like, I can give this fuse character. Like, if I give the wick character, I'm really utilizing all aspects of the...
It's good. I'm gonna try to do that more from now on.
Yeah.
Bell Rocket says, my brain is atrophied in my old age and I can't much read. I don't sit down with like a book as much as I used to. But I do still enjoy like a book on tape. I mean, I enjoy a book too, but I just don't do it as much.
Right.
But like, it's nice to listen to a book. It's a good way to do it, especially if you do any kind of work where you're on a computer for a while. It's a great time for that. Or in the car if you have to make any long commutes. It's another great time for that, in my opinion.
I was trying to read a book a month last year, and I gave up really early. So I didn't read any books last year. I still have to finish reading I Hear You Paint Houses. Because 2020, I had read 2 books. I'd read World War Z, and I'd read Rant by Chuck Palahniuk, and I talked about both when I'd read them. And those are the only books that I had read. And then, like, Dad gave me, like, 5 books that he wanted me to read, and then my brother gave me 2 books he wanted me to read, and I was like, okay. And I was trying to read them, and I haven't gotten through the one. It's just it's just
Dense.
It's dense.
It's an easy thing to do. Some books are a fucking slog.
This one's got a lot of, it's like a real, like, mafia stories. It's I Hear You Paint Houses. It's like basically what The Irishman the movie was based off of. It's about...
Right, okay. I was gonna say The Irishman.
Yeah. So, it's an interesting, like, true story about the mafia. But there's also a lot of names to remember. And like, it's kind of important to know whose name is whose, because then, like, you have to know, like, why is this person in danger of getting whacked? Who's this guy? Why does this guy respect this guy so much? And so then, like, you read a chapter and you're like, okay, hold on. There's like 5 names here, and I remember who 3 of them are. I gotta go back and find the previous one. And so, like, that just took too long. And that's, like, I have a hard time with names. I'm really bad at remembering names. I'm not proud of it. I'm not very happy with it. But that's just the fact of the matter is that I do. It's hard. Names are hard, and I would like to remember people's names better, but I don't.
People are just more memorable, you know?
Yeah, which people?
I don't know, the people whose names you're trying to remember. That's always a fun response if somebody gets mad at you for getting their name.
Hey, dude.
More memorable. They always respond well to that.
I'm sure they do. I'm sure they love it. Yeah, it's or like have a cooler name like Javier or something, you know? I'd remember your name if your name was fucking Javier. Jesus.
Sorry, Brian. What's a better name?
Yeah,
sorry to all the Brian's out there. It's a fine name.
Yeah, go get fucked, Brian. But so that book has been hard to read. The book Rant was very easy to read because it's written in a style where if you don't remember who a person is, like generally it was pretty easy to go back. Yeah, real quick. Okay. Still listen real quick.
Did it on the wrong layer there.
Oh, that's all good. Wrong layer.
We gotta talk about this Sony purchasing Bungie.
They're definitely doing that because Microsoft bought Activision and Blizzard.
Oh yeah, I didn't even realize that they were doing that. When my brain read Sony purchasing Bungie, I was thinking Microsoft purchasing Blizzard.
Oh yeah.
I didn't know if they did that.
Yeah, that was like this morning or something like that. They announced it.
Gotcha. They're trying to they're trying to fight it back. Like, oh yeah? Well, now we own Destiny 3.
Yeah. I think it's all bad. All the companies owning everybody. I think that's... Wait. Oh, wait. By the way, I can put my timer
You get
up.
a little bit more of a shit about monopolies. Now they're just like, you know, you wish you could have Monopoly. Pull yourself by your bootstraps and you'll get one.
Yeah, there's a Supreme Court decision that really, I think, sort of kicked any, sort of chance for government oversight. Like, the Supreme Court has, I forget which ruling it was specifically, but I remember that sort of opening the door for a lot of this. Yeah, I mean, it's not good when a company owns everything, because then they have no reason to improve or get better. And Sony has been fucking up for a little while in terms of, like, the interesting thing was the Bungie thing. Bungie was like, this gives us an opportunity to pursue things beyond video games. And I was like, is that what you want to do? Like,
You want to make...
Are we getting movies now? Bungie? Like, is that what you want? I think that's a great idea.
Good. I really remember the story of Destiny 2 as being... the details is the part I loved about that game. Very rich story. The characters. Destiny was a game that I had fun playing, but like by the time it's over, I'm like, they told me about 1,000 things and showed me none of it. Like, they just name names the whole game, and I'm like, I don't know who any of these people are. I don't know who any of these planets are. I don't know what we're fighting for. The story isn't like, it's like exposition, and that's how they make you care about things, or try.
Yeah. So I'm not sure Bungie and like Halo. I've never played I never played like any of the Halo games through, like for their storyline. Like I've never played any of them through, so I don't know the story that's going on in Halo. Did we save the drawing?
Oh no.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I made a layer invisible. I thought you were deleting stuff. I'm sorry. Keep going.
No, I'm not deleting anything yet.
Okay, cool. But yeah, so like, I don't know if the story of Halo is engaging at all. I've never heard anyone talk about Halo for the story.
I think people like the story of Halo, but I don't know for sure.
Yeah, I like Master Chief in the newest one. He's fun. Yeah, you know, it's just Sony basically trying to fire back for Microsoft owning everybody.
I don't think people owning everything is good for the reason you say, like, quality goes down, but also just, like, you take advantage of the leverage you have when you own everything.
Oh yeah, 100%. Like, that's what happened, like, remember
that's
when...
the danger of monopolies, not quality going down. Like, that, if that were it, nobody would make it illegal. They'd be like, who gives a fuck if your product starts to suck? Like, that sucks for you, but...
Yeah.
But when you own everything and you can, like, you know, make gouge prices and do shitty for stuff that people need,
exactly. And it's also just you know, when a company owns everything, it means that they're going to probably take less risks because they're a big company, and they, like, companies nowadays, they want, like, guaranteed hits. So you know, just not that Bungie, I think, was ever a company I associated with risk, especially after Halo. Like, we never heard of them before Halo, basically, but after Halo, they just made Halo, and then I guess they made Destiny once they broke free from Bungie.
Yeah, not the riskiest company.
So, you know, it's funny because now, like, one of the like companies responsible for Microsoft's killer, like, apps is now working for, like, the enemy, I guess. But
yeah, eventually it'll just be one company.
Yeah,
it'll be Disney will own it all.
Disney will own everything. Everything will be the same. Nothing will be like.
It will be an NFT.
Yeah.
Like Disney.
Nothing will be new. It'll all be the same story, just kind of retread different, like, characters.
Kind of already there.
Yeah.
Kind of the existence.
Did you see the trailer for the new Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie?
I've not.
It looks awful.
Does it? I mean, you know.
It's gonna be on Netflix.
What is there to do still? That hasn't been accomplished.
So it's another soft reboot. Like, you remember the shitty Halloween movie? Like, they're doing the same thing.
I tried to forget it, but there it is.
They're doing the same thing. It's like they have the lady from the first Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie, and she's, like, in a van with a bunch of kids, and she's like, "I'm gonna get him again. He's back. I'm gonna get him." And it's just like, good God, no! This was terrible when they did it for Halloween, and this is terrible again. Oh, that's our timer. We don't have to talk about Sony anymore, which is fine. We talked about it before I set the timer. But
I think if you escape a psychopathic murderer who wears skin face, you don't then, like, plot your revenge for the rest of your life, right? You kind of, like, get hold of the cops and you never go back there.
That's what
Fuck that! That was crazy. You don't be like, I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna chainsaw him. Yeah,
for sure. So that's it's bad. It looks bad. There's also a, like, that, you know, because it's like they're bringing back an old movie. They have to, like, put a modern twist on certain aspects of it. So, like, there's a scene in the trailer where the Leatherface is on, like, a bus full of people, and they all have their phones out, and they're like, "We're gonna cancel you. We're gonna put this shit on Twitter or whatever." And he just, like, chainsaws them.
He's wearing some human faces on his face, and he's just on a bus, and people are like,
yeah, that literally happens. It's so stupid looking.
I need to watch that.
I posted the trailer in the our private Discord, not the DrawBomb one. I'll post it in the DrawBomb. Yeah. No, not the bad movie one. The F is for Friends.
Oh, gotcha. I'll check that out.
I'll post the link in the DrawBomb too, but it looks bad, folks. It looks like it's gonna be dumb.
Sounds bad.
It's gonna be on Netflix, so it'll cost you, like, nothing but your continued subscription to Netflix to watch it. Yeah, it looks so bad, I'm considering unsubscribing from Netflix. Let me just say that.
Had a backwards effect.
I'm like, if they're gonna be doing this with, like, Cowboy Bebop and, like, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, I might just unsubscribe from Netflix. I don't know if I want this anymore in my life.
You're a fan of bad movies.
I am. But they gotta be bad in a fun way, obviously, and this just looks bad in a way that makes my soul hurt.
Yeah, that's a very real thing. The majority of bad movies are not fun.
Yeah. But like,
we've been watching them late at night often. The majority of the time they're misses. And then you get the sweet spot.
And like I knew that about bad movies. Like I'm not a stranger to watching bad movies, but you know, I know the risk. But also there's like a charm in certain bad movies because usually the bad movies are still made by like people, you know? Yeah. And like, so there's a heart and there's a charm behind it, but this just looks like it's a bad movie, like soulless. It's like a robot cut up, like, ironically enough, it's like a robot cut somebody's face off and like slammed it onto its own body, and it's just like, look, I am a human. It's like, no, this is awful.
Well, you make it sound really good. Can't wait to see it. Are we done with this drawing?
Yeah, I think we nailed it.
Okay, cool.
We're gonna take a quick 5-minute break and then we'll be back.
Let's take that break.
Gotta refill my cup. Should I put a timer on for the be right back? Like, do we need to time ourselves?
Sure.
Or okay.
We don't need to, but we can. I don't know. I'm not against that.
I mean, if the timer goes off, I'm not in the room at the computer anyway, so I don't know if it affects anything.
Yeah, I guess, yeah, we'll be back in like
5 minutes. Give us
3 or 5 minutes, something like that.
Yeah. All right. All right, and we're back.
Wow, feels good to be back.
Feels so good.
I missed the camera. I missed the roar of the audience, but
yeah, I missed you.
I missed you the most. Yeah.
Thank you.
I was just staring at your empty room, and I was like, I hope he comes back soon.
Well, wonder no longer, or wish. Wish and wonder.
Neither wish nor wonder.
So I've been playing this game called Island Saver.
Yes, I was gonna ask about that earlier and forgot.
It's okay. I forgot to mention that our theme song this week was made by Plead the Filth. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, I mean, fortunately we played it last week.
We did.
Yeah, good. Worth mentioning regardless. You've been streaming it, and I've been watching a little bit here and there. Do you enjoy it? Do you like it?
I do. I spent money on it. It's a free game.
I was gonna figure it was free, and then you paid for more content.
I did, yeah.
You saw the paywall and you climbed over it.
I did. So it's a free game. It's commissioned by, I feel like I should say, a Scottish bank. They didn't make it. They paid a studio to make it. But it's like a game you recycle and then you save animals, and like animals come to your island, and then you feed them these like really charming plants, and then you save the island from the recycling. So that's it. That's the game, and it's free. The first 3 levels are free, and they take about 2 hours each, so it's about 6.5 hours of game time overall. And I spent $5. It is charming. It's very charming. It's and I spent $5 each on 2 levels, so $10 overall. Because I wanted to. I wanted to play the rest.
I mean, if you're enjoying it, go for it. $5 is not bad.
Yeah, I mean $10 total, but yeah, it's not bad.
Yeah, it's interesting that's made by a bank.
Yeah, it was weird.
They don't make games banks these days.
They don't. It's interesting. It's like when you would get like video games in your box of cereal or something like that. You know, it's like
the whole Chex Quest type situation.
Yeah, it's like why did you do this? But it's interesting because number one, it teaches you to recycle, which is cool. But it teaches you also like about saving your money and like loans and having a bank account. So it's like an educational game for kids about having a bank account, which is where it sort of makes sense that a bank like commissioned it. But it's like, despite its capitalist intentions, it's cute, and like I haven't like detected any bad advice. Like, there's a lot of things that are made for kids, and like the people who make it don't think about it, and they just like put some shit out, and like there's like a wrong message in there sometimes for that stuff.
Happens
And
fairly often, I would say.
yeah, and thankfully this is not the case. Like, I've been watching it, and like they haven't like said, and like they tell you about loan sharks and like applying for loans at banks and etc. etc. And like, sure, it makes sense the bank would tell you, hey, apply for a loan at a bank instead of a loan shark, but that is good advice. Like, you should not.
Yeah.
If somebody offers you a loan and they're not like a financial institution, like they're a loan shark and it could get real hairy. So it's good
Banks
advice.
aren't inherently evil.
I mean, the thing is, the only thing that the game is missing is they don't say, hey, instead of signing up for a bank, sign up for a credit union, because a credit union is a better bank. It's a more ethical bank.
When you're playing this game, do you sit there and do you think, God, I should call my bank that I used to work at. I miss him.
I don't. I still talk to the people I worked with. I still text them and I'm like, hey, how you doing?
Yeah.
But
I need to answer that.
I know. You were just joshing me.
Nah.
You were joshing.
My name's Brandon, actually, but yeah, it was a goof. Well, that's cool. I'm glad you've been digging it. And
Yeah, it's been a fun time. I'm on the
you wanna
last
watch
level.
Ian play. Oh, well, never mind. He's almost done. But
Yeah.
subscribe to Top Gayo on Twitch. Quality.
Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba. Where's your Reading Rainbow sound?
My thing's not working right now, so I can't hear them when I press them. You can hear them. I think the viewer can, but I might press them, and I won't know. So let's give it a try.
I mean, that worked.
Did I get the right sound?
Yeah. Oh no, you got the Price is Right tuba fail.
Oh, maybe it's this one. Did I get it?
Yeah. Nailed
Nah,
it.
I don't remember. I have them all hooked up to my.
Wow.
Everyone's
Wow.
credit. I have it set up to my numpad, and I don't remember what they are, and I can't hear them right now. Fix that.
Oh yeah, you should fix that. I need to get my voice mod working. Although my Stream Deck does have soundboard capabilities, it would just be easier to have a separate dedicated program to it.
Pretty nice. Pretty nice. If you ask me.
Pretty fucking nice.
Yes.
But yeah.
What's happening here? Oh, did the numpad break something for me?
Uh-oh, what's happening? There we go. Is that what you wanted?
I'm having some issues, but I'll get it sorted out, don't you?
Well, let us know.
We're back. For some reason, my brush wasn't working.
Oh, okay.
The numpad did something
Interesting.
to that, so I don't know.
It's with the numpad too much. I gotta say, I really do recommend this Stream Deck. I mean, not just for streaming purposes, although it makes that a lot easier.
Boo! You stink!
The audience disagrees.
Dare you?
Despite, their criticism. Tell us about the Stream Deck.
Oh, it's really useful, man. I got this shit set up to do all kinds of shit.
Yeah, it seems really useful. I am jealous of it.
I mean, even the small, like, I don't think I need as many buttons as I have on this thing.
How many buttons do you have?
I got the big one, so it's like got the most buttons. I think it's 32 buttons, and you can get one that's also like 16 buttons. It's like,
That's a lot of buttons.
well, it's still a lot of buttons, and you can put folders on the buttons and folders inside the folders. So really, one button can be an infinite number of buttons. So really, the limits are in your mind.
You're only limited by your own imagination. Oh no, I broke my draw pile again.
You broke your draw pile by doing the numpad? You were just joking? You were just joshing me?
Joshing. I'm a josher.
You're joshing my drums. Josh and my jums.
don't-
We don't yuck yums, but we do Josh jums.
That's true.
Ba-da-ba.
There you go. You asked and I'll deliver. I don't know if you hear that or not, though. That's the question.
No, they don't. They
You can
can't.
hear it. Okay, cool.
Yeah. We Gucci. I got an eye on those levels at all times. So you've seen Encanto like since we last spoke, correct?
I have indeed.
Well, I mean, we actually spoke before the last week. Plenty of times, actually, which is how I know that you saw Encanto. But since we
I
last
think we
spoke...
talked about it last episode, didn't we?
Well, I talked about it, but you hadn't seen it at that point. And then you've seen it.
Gotcha. I thought last episode I talked about having seen it. 'Cause, yeah, we did. Because when we were talking about favorite Disney movies, right? Or was that previous?
That was previous. Yeah, because I think you saw it like the day
My
after.
timeline's all mixed up.
It's hard to remember all these things. Like I could be completely wrong. So we could just be rehashing, but let's rehash. I don't care. Talk about your thoughts.
I
on Encanto.
enjoyed it. I thought I agreed with a lot of what you said. I liked it. I liked the music in it, relatively speaking. I do, like, you mentioned you don't like musicals a lot of times because of the music. Kills the momentum, stuff like that. But, you know, I feel like going into a musical, I'm expecting that. So that doesn't really happen to me. And also the music in the musical is not necessarily... some people love it to, like, listen to, like, show tunes in the car and stuff. I'm not really, like, I wouldn't listen to it outside of the setting of the musical for most of them. Occasionally there's a musical that has some songs I will listen to outside of it. But
Right.
generally speaking, within the bubble of the movie itself or play or whatever, I enjoyed the music. So if that makes sense.
Okay. Yeah. No, I think so.
So I thought that was good.
Cool. Yeah, like if it's gonna be a
story's
musical, music's gonna be a big part of it. So you want that to be good at least.
Yeah. But I thought the story was good. I thought it was fun. One of their better ones. I mean, most stuff they make is pretty decent.
Yeah.
When it comes to their like animated features that are like their big movie of the year or whatever.
One of the parts that really stuck out to me that I talked about last week was the sequences, like the animation that's happening during the musical sequences, because I thought like what they did, like they really utilized like the 3D nature of it, because like they'd have like shots that were going through like these twisty tunnels and like kind of like following characters a lot, like a lot of movement that you wouldn't normally see.
Basically, a song kicked off and they would be transported to somewhere else for that song. And a lot of Disney movies do that, but this one did it for every song and it did it well.
Yeah, I felt like what they did was very, like, when they were doing that, it was very, like, a lot of times, I just felt very impressed by what they were accomplishing with the 3D during the musical sequences especially.
And you made a comment that I thought was interesting, said that you felt this one was better because of this movie. And I think that's a good thing, because, I mean, I like 3D animation. I've always been a little sad that it's kind of gone from Disney's stuff. But if they're at least utilizing the technology to make something be achieved to the same level, then I guess it's okay. But I still do miss 2D animation.
Yeah, I think 2D animation currently is living on in, like, anime. That's about it. Like, there's a lot of really good 2D shows, but there's nothing, like, because it's on TV, like, there's a lot of 2D shows that are fantastic, have great animation, but, like, usually are made better for the story has to be good or else it's not going to thrive on television. I think for a lot of great 2D television, the animation is great, but the story is why it excels. But there's, like, in a movie you'll get like a show or like an animation that is just like, wow, I didn't know you could do that with animation, and that's usually what Disney animation's brought to the table. And so, like, right now anime is where you see that sort of like care in the animation, where you're just like, it's blowing your mind, like that you can animate that like with pencil and pen. And you know, like you said, I'm hoping that there'll be a heyday where that maybe comes back.
I think it all comes down to these movies. Well, they are made for a general audience. They're primarily made for children, and I think kids like 3D better. But there might come a time where 2D hasn't really been around as much. And I mean, I guess it's not really gone away. They still see it on like TV shows and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But there might be a time where that becomes the novelty in that it becomes popular again, because everything kind of like absence makes the heart grow fonder type situation.
Very true. I mean, and there have been good, like some really great, like Klaus came out.
Yeah, I'm not
recently,
trying to
and
say
Klaus is good.
it's not alive and well.
It's just not very common.
It's nice when the people with all the money are making the things I like, because I get to watch them. But yeah, it still exists, and there's still people doing great jobs. I'm not trying to discount.
No, I agree. I'm just saying it's not common though. But like, you know, you still get the occasional, like Klaus looks phenomenal, and it's 2D animated, and they're kind of like really pushing the medium as far as they can like take it with the technology that they have. But yeah, I'm looking forward to a day when 2D sort of maybe gets that kickstart again. And right now, like I said, the best place you're gonna see it is in anime. Although there's also a lot of anime that's going like 3D, especially now that like cell shading has become so much more of an effective effect. Like cell shading used to look like ass. Like it used to just look fucking awful. But nowadays, like cell shading that they can pull off with like 3D. Like, have you seen the new Guilty Gear game? I think it's Guilty Gear. It's phenomenal looking. It's cell shaded. But it's made by the team that made that like 3D animated, but actually like like it looks 2D, but it's actually 3D with cell shading. They like for Dragon Ball Z.
That's cool. I like when they do that and it works.
It works so well. These guys have like figured it out. So like the new Guilty Gear is 3D, but like cell shaded in a way to make it look like it's 2D animation. And like they even have the frame rate like not perfectly smooth, so like it's like more choppy, kind of like how anime looks. You know, it's animated on like sometimes like 3s and 4s.
Right.
And so like they have it looking like that, so it just looks like an incredible animation, like a 2D animation, but it's 3D with just really good cell shading. So that's cool that that's a thing. A lot of companies have been kind of moving more towards that, but a lot of times the effect doesn't look nearly as good as these video games that are pulling it off. And so it's interesting because like there's a lot of great anime that still really has some incredible like hand-drawn animation, but it's still kind of like falling prey to the like budget savingness of doing it in 3D instead of like having to redraw those frames. You just render them like in a cell shading program.
Yeah, I think as time goes on, they'll just like find the sweet spot and also do what people want to see. You know, whatever sells is going to end up ultimately driving the style.
I think with like grease pencil, like in Blender being like so amazing as it is, and like how many people are like using like have you tried or like have you watched any like people using Blender's animation suite? Because they have their own animation suite.
Where the Kids uses Blender for everything, including 2D animation.
Yeah, and
he tutorial videos and streams some stuff.
Yeah,
and it's pretty impressive what he's done with it.
When I was trying to figure out grease pencil, I watched one of his tutorial videos, and holy crap! First of all, like for someone so talented, like Where the Kids just seems like a really cool guy. Like
he's from
so
Michigan,
chill.
I'm gonna go find him and be his friend.
He's not at all what I expected. Like, I just expected him to be sort of more, like... He just looks like a really cool dude. Like, I'm jealous.
Like a normal person. Where the Kids, if you're watching this right now, if you're in our audience, let's hang out.
We're big fans. We're huge fans of Where the Kids. My roommate, I know I've told you about this, but my roommate did music for one of Where the Kids' videos.
Oh, yeah. You said that. I forgot about that. That's awesome.
Yeah. This actually brings us back to the W. We're going full circle. The W conversation we had at the beginning of this. So, like, my roommate, his name is Andrew. I saw his name in the credits for one of, like, Where the Kids' videos, and I was just like, oh, that's my roommate! So I was like, I texted him, and I was like, dude! And he was like, yeah, he hired me off of Fiverr to like play xylophone for him. And he's like the Bone Band and the one where the kid's short. But
I think I know the one because you showed me.
Yeah.
Also, I love cool stuff.
Yeah, I mean, why wouldn't you? His stuff is incredible. But so his musician name is Chubbs, but it's spelt like this. I think he's going for. I think he's done this. I wasn't sure. He talked to me about it when he was like sort of in the ideation stage of it. But his name is Chubbs. Not his name is, but his nickname is Chubbs. So he spelled his name like this. It's up in the upper right. But
I'll see that.
yeah. But he spelled the U like a V. But so like that would be a W. That's two of those.
Right. Look, I'm not blind. I see the comparisons between I know they're similar, but there's one key difference. V's a pointy. U's are not.
V's a pointy.
A W is pointy typically. If I would say most of the time. So double V. I'm gonna take it to the Supreme Court. We're gonna get this change.
We're gonna do it. We're gonna make it happen, guys. We're gonna get a change. Be the change you want to see. So I call
V, double V, X, Y, and Z.
it sounds natural. It's like I don't even hear a change.
I'll go to the Supreme Court and I'll be like, I'm here to talk about what the kids are being taught in the schools. You want to talk about like race theory or religion or something? No, the alphabet is all wrong.
Let's change it. The alphabet is incorrect. You're liars.
Should be a double V, not a double.
It's a double V. I told Chubbs that his name, he should call himself Chubbs. Chubbs.
But like, the noise should be like one you can't really replicate with your mouth. It should be like if you've ever taken like tinfoil and you blow against it and make that like. That should be the.
Chubbs.
You know what I'm saying.
Chubbs. Yeah, it goes like. It sounds like one of those party horns.
Yeah. So there you go. But yeah, not a bad name. I like that.
I like it too. Oops. It's also just fun to say that.
It is fun to say.
Oops. It still kind of like when you say Chubbs, it still sounds like you're saying Chubbs, but you're saying it like through a wall.
Yeah. You're hearing the vibration.
Yeah, exactly. Like your ear is pressed against it, so you still get like the vibration of the wall from the Chubbs.
Yeah. Exactly right. And I think that's probably what he wants to think of.
Yeah. You want to hear the bass vibrating through your bones, you know?
Yeah. Exactly.
You know what's really funny? And I'm gonna sound like a weirdo, and I might be
Oh, no,
completely incorrect about this, but I was like, this was like a while back, but like I was sitting on some sort of like chair, and then there was like a couch, like
I can visualize this.
yeah, it's a great place to sit. I highly recommend it, folks. Chairs, 10 out of 10.
Top 10 places to sit. Number
Top
one,
10
chairs.
Chairs.
Chairs takes number one. Look,
Top of the list again. 2010 years running.
Chair takes the championship again. There was some up close and up runners. I know you thought Barrel had it this, but no, it's Chairs again. Chairs
Bed came in, got a close second. I tell you what, Bed came in so close, you know, competing with Lap, but Chairs had to give it to my boy Chairs. So I was sitting in like an office chair, and then there was like a futon next to me, and so like I had my foot rested on the futon as like we were watching a screen, and like the person on the futon was talking, and like their body talked. Their butt was sitting on like part of the futon, which vibrated the futon, which then vibrated my leg. And I was like, I can feel my leg vibrating every time this person talks, and I feel like I can hear them better because the sound waves just they travel all the way up your body. I tested it.
The acoustics in that room must have been terrific.
Well, it was the acoustics of this shoddy, like, shitty futon. Like, the particle board was so
Right,
thin.
but you need a room that accentuates the noise to travel through the futon, right? I think if you
No, because you're sitting on the futon. Your body, like, when you talk, you know, your body is... I don't know.
Olivia Newton-John once said, "Let me hear your body talk."
Did she say that? Was that in a song?
There's a song called "Let's Get Physical."
Oh, is that song? Okay.
Let me hear your body talk.
Okay. I'm terrible with lyrics. I'm awful at memorizing.
You need to study your Olivia Newton-John.
Because I do.
I'm such an idiot when we're doing the show.
I'll add them to my list. Such a doofus thinking the vibrations can travel from your body through a futon up your leg.
I mean, it can, but start with start with Xanadu who's jumping off a fucked up weird movie.
Oh, okay.
Not super fucked up. I mean, when I say fucked up, it's just it's like a why does this exist type thing.
Olivia Newton-John's in this movie?
Yeah, she does the full soundtrack. She is the titular. No, she's not Xanadu. But yeah, she's in the movie. Does the whole soundtrack. And who the fuck's in it? What's his name? He's like famous for like singing like Christmas albums.
Oh, Barry Manilow?
No, no. Let it snow.
Frank Sinatra?
No.
Am I, like, how in between Frank Sinatra and Barry Manilow is this guy?
Closer to Frank Sinatra. Dean Martin.
Dean Martin. That's what he was. Wasn't he like in the Rat Pack? Like, wasn't he with Frank Sinatra all the time?
I think it's Dean Martin, but let me look this up. He's in it. It's a weird movie. Olivia Newton-John's like an angel who creates like a roller rink. Some weird shit going on.
Oh, Dean Martin is not the guy I was thinking he was.
I don't know if I've seen that. I might be wrong. Is Dean Martin in this? I might be wrong. I think I'm wrong. I think it's Gene Kelly. It's Gene Kelly!
Is that the movie where he's deaf?
No.
And Richard Pryor is blind?
They run a... No, that's... Is Gene Kelly in that? That's Hear No Evil, See No Evil.
Yeah. Who am I thinking of? Is that Gene Kelly?
Oh, no, that's...
No, Gene Kelly is in... Oh, I'm sorry. Gene Kelly is in, like, Father Goose. And he's in...
He's like probably singing in the rain.
Yeah. Sorry,
I don't know. I'm getting all my... white dudes who dance and sing from, like, the 40s and 50s. I just mix them all together.
Yeah, I know who Gene Kelly is. Gene Kelly is... He was in The Cat Burglar. Gene Kelly, he's like one of the best actors of that era.
Yeah.
Okay. Who am I thinking of? Who's... Oh, Jesus Christ. Who's Willy Wonka?
Gene Wilder.
Gene Wilder! God damn it. Gene Kelly, Gene Wilder.
We just drew Frankenstein. You should have Gene Wilder.
That's right. Yeah, because he was in Young Frankenstein.
My favorite Frankenstein.
The Great Frankenstein movie. My favorite Frankenstein movie is Van Helsing from like 2003. Like, because Hugh Jackman, I think.
Yeah.
Because I love when the Frankenstein goes like, "I want to live."
I should watch that again. That would be a
We
good
should
movie.
watch that. I was just thinking that movie's fucking awful. I'm sure.
I saw it in theaters as a child, but I remember zero.
I think I saw it on DVD like shortly after it came out. That was like when my dad was just renting everything off of Netflix.
It makes sense that Frankenstein wants to live. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, the interesting thing about the book is that Frankenstein wants to live, but yet because of the nature of his life itself, he is not able to connect because people think him a monster.
They're scared of him, and it's hard to express himself. He struggles to express himself as a beast among men. He didn't ask to be born. He didn't ask for this life, but here he is, and this is what he has to deal with.
That's right.
It's
like
also fire, terrifying.
Yeah, fire's awful. I would not want to be near a fire myself. He needs to listen to that song where the guy goes, "Express yourself." I think it's called "Express Yourself."
He'd be set.
He'd be expressive.
Express. Are we gonna get copies?
Oh yeah.
If I was really good, yes.
If we got sued, whoever's guy could writes that song is so petty because we don't sound like.
That guy was indistinguishable from the original. Strike.
Get him. Chop his legs.
So, there was something I wanted to talk about, completely unrelated, but I don't know if this is a good transition.
Well, we've segued as best as we're gonna.
Came back to Frankenstein. So, I'm getting together with probably my oldest group of friends that I've been friends with first grade. We get together, I might have told you about this, but, for the audience, we all live in different places. Half of us are married or have kids. Just, we're all busy doing different stuff, as people do. But we always try to get together once a year, kind of like our way to keep that connection there.
This is like your version of tag?
We're all I haven't seen the movie. Give me a quick rundown there.
Oh, Jesus, it's awful. But it's basically like they play tag for a certain period of time and no rules except for some. But basically you play tag for 3 months out of the year. Yeah, they don't seem to operate by a lot of rules, but they seem to happen in the movie when they
drives the story forward.
Yeah, but they play tag for 3 months out of the year, and that's their way of sort of staying in touch is through the game of tag. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we call it Winter Olympics. We get together once a year and a day full of games, just table game, board games, and then also ping pong, air hockey, pool, stuff like that. Just whatever we can come up with. Sometimes it's not the same games every year. It's just whatever sounds good. And then at the end, granted, I would say this is somewhat inspired by the league. There's a trophy only for the loser. And the person who comes in last place has to take this trophy and keep it in their house on display somewhere for the whole year. And so we do it every year. The trophy is, we call it the Snow Queen. We found it at Goodwill. It's this really ugly, nutcracker. I'll actually
Please do. Put it in the Discord then, too, while you're at it.
Yeah, I'll do that in a second. Oh, sorry. I got that.
Oh my gosh, look at that thing.
I'm gonna post it on the top later. But yeah, it's really ugly. We've been doing this for I don't know how long now. Probably 8 years, something like that. This is the ugly trophy. It's known as the Snow Queen. We can't really see it very good, but around the bottom names are written. And this year, I believe we're out of room, so I'm gonna actually take it and build an actual trophy base so it becomes taller and more
fantastic.
And all the pillars and everything make it look worse. And build place for more names.
You can see the names sort of
yeah, you can see some of them. But we found later that this was actually something that Joanne Fabrics made as some kind of I don't know if they gave it away or you had to buy it, but I don't know where. I was looking for some kind of thing and I found the complete one that actually has the other arm in a Joanne Fabrics bag. This is a thing that exists. You're turning it back into a nutcracker like it's supposed to be. It's got intended. Maybe it's that weird mustaches and eyebrows. But yeah, so this is the trophy that people have to keep. To all of our joy, it's been the same guy that's had it for 3 years now. We are all just rooting for him to keep it forever.
fantastic.
Every year they get stuck with this thing.
I love the league. I really wanted to do I tried to do a fantasy football league with some friends, but I just didn't have attention span to like keep track of football and do it.
And you have to really track stats and stuff, or you can just jump in blind, but you probably won't win. It'd be a waste of.
Yeah.
It'd be fun to hang out with your friends, but it'd be a waste of the entry, like buy-in if you're not paying attention.
Yeah. So like I've always been interested in like some kind of way of kind of getting some shenanigans. Not like trying to like be like I want to be like the league because you know that's like a dumb thing.
Right. The only inspiration was that instead of
the trophy
winner
thing,
the loser gets a trophy. I do have a prize winner that I do, but it's smaller.
But I do like the idea of like having a league of some kind where you know you can sort of like force punishments on people and like sort of like have that sort of competitive aspect to it. But I think it is a nice way to sort of keep in touch with people.
I'm gonna erase this unless you want to continue drawing on her. That's fine too.
I'm giving them AirPods.
I feel like you've made improvements. Like she looks like a better decoration now.
A little bit more filled out.
The prize, while you're doing that, the prize I just make it for fun, but the prize I've been doing was, the prize is kind of ugly. The first year I presented the prize, and, oh, that's what the winner gets? Ew. But, regardless, let me see if I can drag it over. This was it's just a print that I made. I did it 2 years ago, or this year. We always, because we're so busy during Christmas, do the previous year, like in January. So like this year we're doing 2020 Winter Olympics, you know?
Yeah.
Last time we got together was 2019. There was an in-between year that we didn't get together for obvious reasons. But I made this print that I gave to the winner here.
That's great.
And then this year, I made another one that they haven't seen yet. I just earlier this morning. Let's see if I have it. But I'm trying to keep them all like stylistically kind of the same, but different, like cards, you know?
Yeah.
So this is this year's iteration.
Nice.
The toothpick she's holding is because so it's a group of friends, and the same people lose every time if you're just tracking the winner of like every game. The same people lose every time, and that makes it a little less fun. So to make it more interesting, the way we did it is winner of the whole thing is out of the drawing. Everybody else draws straws. Second place gets to decide if they want to go first or last. And then, you know, so it makes it possible that even second place can still get it.
So you still have the same people winning every year?
It's usually between me and one other guy who uses the whole thing every year.
Okay.
There should be some weird ways we can throw them off their game, because I would love to see. I mean, the thing is, second place can still get the ugly trophy.
Yeah, I'm just thinking like, you know, a fun way to make it so like what are the events in this thing?
Like I said, it's like a lot of like, we start off with all like table games like pool, ping pong, foosball, that kind of stuff. Darts. Okay. We do that, and then once we're all done doing that tournament, we go upstairs and we end up usually switching to like board games.
Okay.
And sometimes
gotcha.
people bring in weird like. I thought this would be fun. There's some weird shit. One time somebody brought like a race car, like an RC car track. Like people just bring random things and we just like, yep, let's add it. That'll be fun.
Okay.
But yeah, so it's just random, whatever.
They just gotta practice playing some darts and ping pong more, is what you're saying.
Yeah. Everybody has their games. Like ping pong is one that I sweep in.
Okay. I think I might crush you guys in darts.
You probably would. I'm terrible at darts.
I've gotten really good at darts. I want to say I'm really good. I'm better. I like throw it well enough if I'm like on my A game, where you're like, oh hey, you know, you're getting close. That's how good I am at darts.
The seriousness of the situation improves your ability at darts.
No, I don't even know what improves my ability at darts. Some days I do better than others.
Close. I thought you were saying like when it gets the competition.
No, I just throw the darts.
Do better.
I just throw the darts, like if I'm like having a good day, I just throw the darts well enough where you're like, oh, that was pretty close. A
Bro,
lot.
I just throw the darts. I don't even, it's up to the darts. It's not up to me.
I don't throw the darts. The darts throw me, man.
The darts throw themselves. They know where they're gonna land. They have places to be. I'm just there to help them get there, man.
I'm just the Uber driver. The darts are my fucking vehicle, bro.
We have some light conversation. They ask me how much I love throwing darts. I'm like, it's fine. They throw up in the back of the car. I charge them $1 and there, man.
Dude, it's like the darts are like this fucking like movie, man, and I'm like the director, and like the darts are kind of like divas, so they kind of don't listen to like what I'm saying, and it becomes like a whole thing where I'm like, fuck, going 20, and then the dart won't do it because it's like Bruce Willis, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and he's like, I'm above this.
Yeah, he's like not into it at all. He's just phoning it in.
Yeah. Darts are like Bruce Willis and Cop Out.
Oh boy, have you seen Cop Out?
No. I've seen parts. Actually,
Okay.
I started it and then I turned it off, I believe, but that was a long time ago.
I know it's bad, and I know there's nothing redeem. It's not even like bad that it's funny. I just like kind of want to see it because I'm just like, what's gonna happen? Like Kevin Smith movies, like bad ones, are really bad
Yeah.
to baffling degrees. So it's almost
When they're
like
good,
worth it.
they're alright, and when they're bad, they're terrible.
Yeah. Oh, Kevo Smitho.
I'm looking up, see if I can.
What you looking up?
I was gonna try to find a picture of the Snow Queen that you're drawing over top of when she was like in her purest form. I found it on Google before. There's photos that exist,
Okay.
but it's not important.
Not important. I'm also done with this drawing. I don't think I feel like adding any more to it.
Well, let me save that, and then I'm gonna.
Oh, okay. 1 sec. Yeah, now it's.
Sure, why not? And then I want to finish my turtles.
Yeah, I like it. I like your titles.
I like your turtles.
I like titles. Oh yeah, we played a little bit of Surgeon Simulator, the new
Yeah,
one. What did you think of it?
That for. It's very buggy, but it's pretty fun.
That's my
We
thoughts.
need to save that for talk about next week. So we're almost done here.
True. Finish your titles.
I'm working on the titles. Ian, do you have anything to plug?
One. DrawBomb is recording live. Sorry. I don't have too much to plug at the moment.
Me neither. We have our show DrawBomb. You should watch that. I'll say
Sorry,
one more time.
I was looking at the
Subscribe to
screen for a second.
Subscribe to Ian's Twitch because he's active. He's more active than our channel.
Yeah, I've been doing some things.
There's no schedule, but if you're a night owl, this will be the place for things
Basically,
going on.
if none of my friends are online, I decide to stream a game. That's how it goes.
A lot of times I check online to see if you're free and then watch.
Well, I'm always willing to end a stream early. I don't give a shit.
I don't want to be responsible for that. You've been having like audience. You've been having like 3 or 4 people hanging out.
Yeah. But I've got one person who's been particularly like in a lot of the streams lately, and I really appreciate that, which is cute.
It's nice. It makes it fun.
Yeah. It's good to have people actually like hanging out. Hanging out in the chat.
The stream.
No, that's a better one, yeah. You did a much better parody there.
Old game.
Dude, are you like a Weird Al?
I'm a Weird Al, yeah. But
You're one of his devout followers.
they're making an actual Weird Al movie.
Are they really?
I think it's for some streaming service, but it's gonna be some kind of like, biopic.
Oh,
Who do they have
interesting.
playing him? I forget. It's
Interesting.
Oh,
Okay.
it's Daniel Radcliffe.
Oh, okay.
Interesting choice, but I could see that being good. I would have.
I mean, yeah, I can see
I
that.
loved. Have you seen the The Funny or Die Aaron Paul one.
No. Wait, I think I have actually a long time ago.
It's great. I went to a Weird Al concert a number of years back, and they played that on like the big jumbo thing before the
nice.
show. But it's pretty good.
I think it's a shame that UHF was just such a flop, because
it has a big cult following.
it's a great movie, and it's like a shame that like because that movie kind of tanked, that Weird Al never got to like really make another movie.
I think he's doing just fine.
He is. I just would have liked to have seen a world where he made more movies.
Yeah. Well, who knows? That might still happen. It could be. As of like a couple years ago, the record deal, which kept him locked down for like a decade. So he's kind of doing more like things he enjoys, or not necessarily that he didn't enjoy that. Doing more like creative pursuits. I know in the last couple of years, his last tour was like an Weird Al unplugged. He's like. He's like, think like Eric Clapton cocaine unplugged, except it's like fat. Weird Al songs, and I'm like, that sounds really fun, actually.
Yeah, I would go to that.
Like an acoustic guitar instead of an accordion.
Yeah. I would love to see Weird Al do more stuff.
I saw him live because I was like, okay, big part of my childhood. Gotta see this guy like performing. I don't know. Weird Al's one of those guys that I have no idea what age he is. I'm sure a simple Google search would answer that, but
I want to say he's like 56.
Yeah, he's got to be up there. But like, you go to a show and there's like 10,000 costume changes. He's running around dancing. He's definitely in better shape than I am.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Do you want to make a guess for how old Weird Al is?
I'm gonna say 55.
He is 62.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, he looks great.
Glad you're doing good.
Yeah, I'm very glad he's doing well. Seems like a nice guy. I've never heard anyone be like, Weird Al, he's a real creep.
Yeah, what an asshole. That hasn't come out yet, so any day now.
That's true.
So
Never say never, unfortunately. We love you, Weird Al. Please don't ever let us down.
Don't let me down, Weird Al.
Don't let me down.
It's impressive how much I'm like admiring this guy that just does like instead of Total Eclipse of the Heart, I'll call it Total Eclipse of the Fart, and then like, make a career out of it. Like normally I'd call that hacky, but I love Weird Al. It's very wholesome.
Yeah.
And
I think that's the thing, is like the wholesomeness of it.
Yeah, and he seems like a good guy, and he like writes his own stuff. Funny too, but like
yeah,
it's a big part of his nostalgia for me.
His nostalgia, but like also like like his original stuff. Like a lot of times his original stuff will like also be parodies, but like of a genre instead of like a specific song, like Dare to Be Stupid.
Yeah.
And like that song's great. Like that song's like as good as like a Devo song, and even though it's like a parody of Devo's sound, essentially, it's like really good.
Yeah, he's talented.
Yeah,
for sure.
One of the first DVDs I think my family ever owned. I think like the first 3 DVDs like my family ever owned, like when DVDs first became a thing, were a Weird Al music video disc collection, and then a Spaceballs. And then I don't know the third movie. But I'm pretty sure Weird Al was like
Under 2.
Yeah, I just remember those two being like.
After you got the second one, but DVDs are a thing, I guess. So I'm not worried about keeping track of the history of these.
Because it was like a wonder. I was like, wow, it's a menu. I can like start the movie when I
rewind it.
Yeah. A chapter select. I can choose where to start the movie if I like take a break. I love starting
the movie in the middle.
Yeah. I can see the chapters. Oh my gosh, sometimes there's a funny special feature. I was a child.
I'm gonna listen to the commentary. I still do.
I do too. I've listened to all the commentary tracks in Fight Club.
Be like, wow, 62, that's so old, but it's like my parents' age. Yeah, I'm not saying he's so old. I'm just saying for like how he looks, and he looks better than that is my parents' age too, but he looks better than my dad does. Like, I don't
rude.
No shame to Dale. Dale, you look great, but you look 62. Weird Al does not. And also, he's like,
Rude.
when I saw, you don't need to stick up for my dad. He's doing just. But also, Weird Al he's like on stage. It's crazy. He's like doing all this shit. He comes out. He does fat. He comes out in the giant fat suit. Like,
Yeah.
that's gotta be heavy.
No, he's very athletic.
I
and he's
feel like
in
I
good
wronged
shape.
my dad. I'm gonna
I
call
was
him.
messing with you. You're fine.
No,
I know what you're
My
saying.
dad's gonna be like, "Why the hell are you calling me at 10 o'clock?
Yeah.
I'm trying to sleep. I'm 62."
Dad, get off my back. I'm just comparing you to Weird Al.
Dale's a good guy. We like Dale.
We like Dale.
Dale's a friend of the show. Never seen it, but
Never met Dale.
well, you'll meet him at the wedding.
Yes, that's true.
Ian, I'd like to introduce you to my Dale.
Hello, Dale. You're a good Dale.
I like to say his name just because there's not a lot of Dales anymore. So
Yeah, my dad's friend is Dale, and so I know 2 Dales. I know of 2 Dales. I know 1 Dale. I know of 2 of them.
you're familiar of another Dale.
Yes, I'm aware of the existence of a second Dale.
Oh boy, I think it's time to go.
Yeah, we've even had this song on loop.
Thanks everybody for watching. Leviathan, Death, Bell Rocket, Z-Newts came in and booed us a couple times. We appreciate it. Yo, stink.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything else you'd like to add?
Fuck no, I think 2 weeks out from my first album being on Spotify, I guess.
Z-Newts. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's it. Still waiting.
That makes good choices.
It's yeah. That's,
I'm not shitting on your
No,
choice
I
to put it
fucking-
there. Where else would you go? I actually thought about that the other day. Where people are like hopping ship for like moral reasons, and I'm like, Ian's stuff's about to drop.
Okay. So
Where else would we go? No, I'm still.
I understand. No, I feel the same way though. I'm like, man, fuck Spotify though.
Bunch of
Those
turds.
guys. Yeah, I mean, I knew about the whole Joe Rogan situation beforehand, but I'm just like, it's just it is shitty, and I've been like pretty iffy on Spotify ever since they bought his show or whatever.
Right.
Like, fuck those guys. Your fucking podcast, like, the way to listen to podcasts on Spotify fucking sucks anyways. Don't use Spotify. It's terrible for podcasts, especially. Listen to podcasts anywhere else.
On that note, Z-Newt says there can only be one Dale. So my dad has to fight your dad's friend to the death.
Yeah. It's also my friend's dad. Like, he used to be our neighbor, and he used to have a son we used to hang out with. So he's both my dad's friend and my friend's dad.
You used to have a son?
Oh no, he still does.
Oh, thank God.
I don't see him anymore. I don't know where he is.
I don't see him anymore, so he doesn't exist.
Yeah, out of sight, out of mind. Object
set up
permanence, not with me.
We'll set up that Dale fight for next episode. Thanks for watching, everybody. Tune in next week
Thank
on
you so
Monday.
much.
Wait. Yeah, next week on Monday we'll be here.
Okay.
I think. The week after that is Valentine's. I probably won't be.
Oh yeah, you're gonna be too busy kissing your roommate.
I have to kiss my roommate, or else. You know,
Or else.
I'll leave it at that. Anyways, thanks for watching, everyone.
Bye everybody.
Bye bye.
Bye. I want to say minimal technical difficulties there.
Are we off?